Yeah, I mean, I just want to be clear that our ownership group is exploring all options, to strategically invest in the team. They've been committed to the team's success for over 2 decades, and I can assure you they're not the only ownership group that's, really thinking about, how to keep up with this explosion of interest and excitement around the WNBA, whether it's facilities or arena size, just continuing to be able to pour in the way that they have over the last couple of decades. So I think as responsible business owners, they made the decision to be strategic about exploring options. And that's exactly what I told the team is that there hasn't been a decision made other than that, they want to make sure, as Tina said, that they're doing what's best for the organization as well as the WNBA.
And you feel that they've been transparent with you and Morgan throughout the
Yeah.
process of at least telling you, what's going on and giving you clarity and allowing you out to still do what you've been doing over the
Mhm.
past months.
Absolutely. I mean, these conversations don't happen overnight or in one day. The questions about team investment or these are ongoing conversations we have over the last 2 years, right? And so, there has been constant communication. We're not involved in the decision making of what happens with, team ownership or investment, but we certainly are part of the process when it comes to identifying strategic areas where we can improve and getting feedback on how we can continue to elevate player experience in our market, and make sure that we're providing the best scenario that we can to stay, championship contenders at the Connecticut Sun, as we have been over the last 6 seasons.
All right, thank you, Andrew. We'll go to Annie. Annie, go ahead.
Hey Jen, thank you for your time this morning on this. So what would it take to keep the franchise in Connecticut then? If you're talking about all options are on the table, what is ownership saying in regards to maintaining control of the franchise and how they do that?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been super specific about what option or path they're deciding on. It's just more about being consistent about how they're evaluating all of their businesses, right? Connecticut Sun being one of them. So there's, obviously investments that need to be made and facility enhancements and capital expenditures, and it's something that they evaluate every year. And so I think it's probably essentially a balance of trying to understand what that looks like and thinking about the past, but as well as the future. But I'm not like privy to necessarily those decisions, just being someone who can inform, where our league is and what are the types of investments that need to be made.
You've been a part of this landscape a long time. You've been involved in multiple ways, multiple levels. What do you think is best for the WNBA and the product
Yeah.
when it comes to this franchise?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I mean, I think that the Connecticut Sun ownership has set a standard for what owning a WNBA team should look like for 2 decades. I think they were at the forefront of a lot of investment before a lot of other teams were there. I think that they have been great for the WNBA in terms of moving the franchise here, investing in it, creating a loyal fan base, bringing it to a state and a community that thrives on, knowing and being a part of women's basketball. And so I think the WNBA and its fans owe a lot to this ownership group, for the investment that they have made. As far as what the future holds, I'm kind of, in some ways along for the ride and making sure that I'm providing the best scenario that I can right now here in 2025 for these players. And thinking about, like Rashid said, control what I can control and thinking about the future when that time comes and that decision is made. If the decision is made to keep it here and, invest and build facilities, like I'll be hopefully at the forefront of helping continue to make it one of the most desirable franchises in the WNBA. I mean, there's a reason we've been good for for 2 decades, that we've made the postseason 17 out of 21 years, and that this is the first year we've really had a lot of turnover. So I think the narrative has gotten lost here that this has been a desirable location to play. It's a great pace of living, and a lot of people have wanted to build their careers or end their careers here. So I wanted that to be, clear that we're going to pour into this franchise as long as it's here. If it ends up not being the case, then we'll worry about that when the time comes. But we're excited about kind of our new identity and refreshing here with new coaches and new players. And on Sunday when we have our home opener, we're just mostly focused on providing a great product for a sellout crowd in a WNBA season where interest and viewership is at an all-time high. And I will continue to remain focused on that until somebody tells me otherwise.
Just a quick clarification. So
Yes.
you are not privy to all discussions. Is that
No,
accurate?
no.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we have time for just a couple more. Go to Ben. Ben, go ahead.
Thanks, Ron. Just to build off what you were just saying, Jen, I mean, do you still believe that the Tribe can support a WNBA contender in this market?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 4 years. I think the Tribe can support whatever they want, whatever decision they make. I think I don't know if anyone's ever been here to Mohegan Sun or any of the properties that they own, but they do everything first class. They pride themselves on guest experience and attention to detail and true investment in the right ways. And I know we haven't been super vocal all the time in the media about what we have done for our team, but we have poured into them over the last 4 years that I've been here. So if the Tribe decides they want to own this team, they're as competitive, I think, as any ownership group in the league. And, I'll be excited to have those conversations with them for sure.
Gotcha. And just to then also clarify what you were saying, like, do you so is a potential limited partner, like minority ownership sale on the table here as an option to potentially reinvest in the franchise? I mean, is that what you're kind of saying when you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now all options are on the table, right? We've seen franchises get sold and remain in their cities like Atlanta. We've seen franchises like Seattle do a minority investment and build a practice facility and pour in a capital raise and build a practice facility. So, I think at this day and age, I got to imagine we're not the only team, and I don't have the only ownership group that's thinking about options for continued investment in the team, based on where the league is and based on, expectations of where, we need to be in terms of a facility standpoint. So yes, at this point, that option is on the table.
Gotcha. And did they provide a timeline for?
No.
Okay.
All right, thanks. And we have time for just one more. We're going to go to Megan. Megan, go ahead.
Hey, Jane, it's Megan Hall with USA Today. Wanted to just ask you, because Tina touched on it earlier, about keeping calm in the middle of something like this. And I think you kind of hinted at that as well. How do you stay grounded in when there's like so much chatter outside of, of your facility walls?
Well, hopefully the players and coaches can do that a little bit better than I can. The message I gave him this morning is that, we're going to be playing the 2025 season here, and we're going to be committed to making it the best season that we can in every aspect. And so I just asked them to focus on that, right? I asked them to trust that we're going to provide the atmosphere at our home games that they need to, have that 6-man crowd. I've asked them to focus on continuing to work hard and get to know each other and embrace the newness of this franchise right now and have some fun with it, right? And I think they'll be able to do that. I mean, unless you guys continue to distract them with questions about this, right? I think for me, I've been around a while. I'm a mom. I've been a coach for a long time. If anyone knows how to compartmentalize, it's me. So, I'll be able to continue to work hard on the business side, to sell out our games and, build sponsorships that align with our values and, support Morgan Tuck in the decisions that she makes, on the basketball side. And then if there's anything else that's asked of me for the future, I'll be prepared to do that too. But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, right? Like being a part of the WNBA right now is the best job in the world, right? I get to support these athletes. I get to provide a platform for them and amplify their voices. I get to provide entertainment for a fan base in Connecticut that has been one of the best fan bases in the world when it comes to women's basketball. So I'm excited for the season. I'm gonna do everything that I can to just keep my focus where it needs to be and be able to present that calm leadership that our entire organization needs right now and limit any distractions that I can from everybody doing their job at the best level that they can.